Governor Pritzker gave his budget address today. What does it include? You guessed it. What's in your wallet? How high will taxes go for the state of Illinois to pay for the spending and the lack of reform? We'll talk about it next on this edition of the Morrison Report. Every governor has to come before the legislature to introduce a budget or, list out his or her spending priorities. And so we had the Senate and the House in the House chamber today to hear Governor Pritzker's first address. And it's about a $39 billion budget proposal. And how do you pay for it? That's the big question. So one of the key things that he talked about was a graduated income tax, which would require a change to the Constitution. He stressed that is something he is really going to push for. And what you need to understand is that there aren't enough, when he says, and others like him say, well, the very, very wealthy in Illinois should pay just a little bit more. Guess what? There aren't enough millionaires and billionaires in the state to pay for the amount of spending that has been proposed, or the backlog of bills, the debt, the new spending, the unfunded pension liabilities, et cetera. It's going to fall on lower and lower incomes. And shiny objects like legalized marijuana, legalized sports betting are not going to justify or not going to bring in the amount of revenues either. We need to grow our economy. We need to unleash the private sector in Illinois, and we're not going to do that by raising taxes, especially a tax like this graduated income tax. One of the other interesting proposals he had in there was kicking the can down the road on pensions. So we all know that Illinois has a massive unfunded pension liability. Well, we got there, first of all, by making promises to public employees, but then not paying into the system on a year-by-year basis. That's how a pension system is supposed to work. And so those payments have been deferred, or not sufficient revenues have gone in to justify the amounts flowing out. And so Governor Pritzker proposed another, essentially a pension holiday, not paying in what we should be, or extending out the ramp for another 7 years, borrowing more money to put monies into the system. That's a recipe for how we got here in the first place, not a recipe for how to get out. Another interesting proposal was a $390 million tax on managed care for health insurance. So essentially, our premiums are already going through the roof. This would be an additional burden that's put on the insurance companies. And what do? They pass those costs along in the form of higher premiums. So you, the taxpayer, you, the health insurance customer, really are paying more because of a lack of discipline here at the state level. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your feedback. You can call me at 847-202-6584. You can also email me at morrison@ilhousegop.org. Thanks for watching.